Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I am going to talk about, well, inside Star Citizen. As you can see, Jared was having a lot of fun with another Halloween edition inside Star Citizen as he got to play around with CIG's offices in LA there. It looked like he was one of the few people there, and, well, you know, he took a little page out of Tom Hanks's Castaway and created some friends. There was Pico the Penguin Volleyball and Mark Hamill, and I'm not sure who the other one was. I don't know. Maybe he was making one of the other devs, one of the team leads. Who knows? Anyways, he dressed up as Dracula and did his thing. And actually, it was kind of entertaining to me. Of course, some people might think it's cheesy. I really like the part where he kind of made fun of himself, or at least made fun of the people that said this was super cringy last year. And he had some really good comebacks for some of the cringiness. So it was, I thought it was great. He talked to Will Weisbaum, and he kind of teased the ending of Squadron 42. And it was all about time travel or being dead or flashing back. Yeah, it was kind of humorous there as well. So I really like what they did with this episode. It definitely went longer than most episodes, but it felt longer than most episodes as well. And one of the things somebody in my org did with a video the other day that was interesting is he broke up segments of his video with commercials, like in-game commercials. Now, I don't know what the validity of doing that for his monetization really is, leaving all the sound and stuff in because it's not his video. Not a worry for him at the moment because he's not even in monetization land, but it really served to break up his video quite well, and it definitely gave me some things to think about for some of my future videos, should I get the time to do it. But yeah, I thought that was really cool and excellent way to do it. And Jared's little Dracula stuff definitely served to break up the segments of this video quite well. So the first thing that they really got to delve into as far as gameplay mechanics is the Aegis HUD. Now this is the first one they're working on, or redoing, I guess you could say. They've got a lot of cool features to the HUD, if you ask me. I really like how the screen glosses over like that. There's just a lot of cool things. Some of the stuff about the layout, they wanted to make sure that everything had a decent amount of space, that everything was readable. That's super important, right? That they wanted the flight information on the left, while the mode-specific stuff is going to be on the right. They were going to have a compass finally added into the game, so you'll actually get to tell where you are in the world, so to speak, and kind of in space a little bit, at least what headings and stuff. So that'll actually help a lot of people. A radar altimeter has been added. So they've always had some sort of altimeter, but a radar altimeter will be a little more specific and help you out in more specific ways. The top will contain warning messages colored by severity like it has in the past, and directly below that will be emissions and signatures, so you'll be able to see if you're running stealthily or not. Directly below that will be, the main piece of the HUD will be much wider than the current one and contain a lot of the flight information, and underneath the main HUD will be two spherical widgets showing your 3D velocity, which could be useful as well. So a lot of times it shows you velocity, but it doesn't necessarily tell you which direction you're going because, in space, it's 6 degrees of freedom. The 3D velocity will help you figure all that out. The bottom left will contain status warnings, landing gear, VTOL, etc. The bottom right will contain weapons information, gimbals, flares, chaff, etc. So it's starting to look pretty good. I'm enjoying some of the new HUD features and interested to see what else they can do in the future. They said they're going to finalize the MFDs. They don't know exactly what they want them to look like yet. Then they're going to begin working on other manufacturers' HUD. They did mention maybe Drake or who else did they mention? I don't remember. But they're going to talk about doing some more manufacturer HUDs, which this is going to make your ships feel quite a bit different just by the looks of things. And, you know, that's something everybody's been looking forward to. So why is Drake different? Or how is Drake different? The HUDs look kind of the same, blah, blah, blah. So finally we'll have some sort of differences there. This is where Lando goes into, I guess, remarking back to all the trolls that were trolling him. He opens up his Day of Var stuff. He talks about making potatoes. Yeah. So again, they did a really good job of breaking up the segments with some entertaining stuff. And I kind of hope they do something similar to that in, you know, in future videos. Maybe not to this extent, at least, yeah, hopefully not to this extent. Hopefully they go a different route with it. Something else I hope that they bring back is the intergalactic news. You know, maybe not with Sandy, you know, if she doesn't need or want to be on TV or on the screen, put somebody else in there, you know, maybe hire a couple people to do it like once a week or something. That would be cool. But I think doing like an intergalactic news segment would be pretty awesome. So then they went and they're going to talk about power management and resources. And let me tell you, this was worth watching without a doubt. Now, if you didn't care for the HUD stuff, which I don't know why you wouldn't, the power management stuff was top notch. This is a simulation they have going on, kind of like a prototyping, if you will, of how they want power to work within ships. And honestly, I'm going to sit here and run through some notes, but you really need to watch it to really get the most of it. So the prototype simulation that is involving all the web components showing how a ship power will be allocated and used. It includes turrets, lights, power plants, guns, batteries, shields, relays, fuel tanks. The priority system built to favor certain components over others. So, you know, like your engines obviously will be something that is going to be a priority. You can turn off certain things to make sure there's power going to other things. You can bypass certain power areas. Yeah, so it's really cool how they go into this. The main goal for engineers is to keep the ships as operational and efficient as possible. And the resource generation item control will allow components to produce what other components need, like power, ammo, heat, etc. Cascade failures will lead to rerouting and power pathing nodes. So if something gets shut down on a certain part of the ship, you can reroute power through a different node or relay to bring power back to that area. Now, if you only have a certain amount of power plants running, it's going to cause problems. Yeah, I mean, you're going to overheat quicker, or you know, you're going to have other failures because it can't keep up with necessarily the power demands of the ship. The way this thing is set up, engineers are going to be super important, and people that understand how power is routed throughout your ship. I mean, if you're going to have a ship, you really need to learn the schematics and how the power is going to work so that you yourself can take care of some of these things and not necessarily always have to rely on getting an engineer. But let me tell you guys, if you're interested in doing engineering stuff, this is going to be massive, especially in a bigger ship. It's going to be super massive in a bigger ship because obviously you're going to have more stuff that can fail. You're going to have people that are able to get on station and repair those parts quicker because some of the ships are going to be like 350 meters long. I mean, you're going to have some people that can actually do some of this stuff for you as an engineer. You know, somebody in the back of the ship that can go to a relay and switch it out. You may have to change out a power coupling. I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities here, you know, that are going to come into play that you're going to need to have a top-notch engineer and engineering team working on it. So the smaller ships, you really only need one guy dealing with it if it's multi-crew. A larger ship, you're probably going to need multiple people that are able to do the stuff that you need them to do, whether it's gunners or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be super important. So once again, guys, thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I hope you really liked the way that I did this inside Star Citizen, and I will bring you another one next week as well. So, yeah. There's Pico again. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.